And we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Today in Quarantine, or at least another episode of Today in Quarantine. I'm Renae Cross, and back with us today, after I think it was just about a week of hiatus, is Pastor Guadalupe Montour. So, welcome her back, everybody. Um, man, it's been a while. How are you?
I've been good. I've had rough days, but today is a good day. Today's a good day. I saw ducks on my walk today.
All right, there you
It
go.
was rejuvenating. I heard tons of birds. So, it just felt good.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I went for a run this morning, which I hadn't done for a while, and it was just a beautiful morning today. It's a beautiful
Yeah.
day in Lincoln, Nebraska, as we will hear from our weather report later on today. But first, what have we done today in quarantine, Pastor? What have you done today in quarantine
You
besides go for
know,
a walk?
yeah. When I finally fell asleep at 3 o'clock this morning, I woke up at 8, made green juice smoothie, which you'll find on my timeline eventually. Let me tell you just a little bit about what I put in my smoothie. I put cinnamon, I put bananas, I put sesame seeds, I put chia seeds, I put spirulina, the stuff that makes it taste bad and look green, blueberries and pineapples and turmeric. I was like, I need a powerhouse drink because I need to not die. Um, and then I
Oof.
gave it to my girls and they were okay with it. I also put apple butter and apple milk in it. So it turned out really good. So I did that. I had my worship. I actually went outside to sit down in the sun because it was sunny. It's the sun is this yellow thing that appears in the sky usually during the spring months.
That's
And that
crazy.
showed up today. Yeah.
I've never noticed that before in all my 23 years of life.
Yeah. Yes. So now you know it's called sun. It rejuvenates and it brings to life, and it helps your bodily get its stuff. Get it helps your body get its stuff together. So I made breakfast, and what do I do? Then my girls started. Today is the first day of online schooling.
Okay.
Uh, my younger one was ahead of the game. She finished all of her work like the week before, so she was just doing nothing, which kind of sucks on my end. And then my older
Yeah.
one is still in school, finishing up all her stuff. So she's been online since like 9 in the morning. Yeah, but it was pretty cool. And then I had like all these meetings online. Had with the conference, two with the conference, a Bible study. I had to do some preparation for upcoming stuff. Yeah, and then I cooked. I cooked. I want you to know that this is a miraculous feat. Okay, that I cooked 3 days in a row. Yes,
Whoa.
3 days in a row from scratch.
Whoa
Except
there.
yesterday's dinner. Yesterday's dinner came is brought to you by Sultan's Kite.
Hey, shout out to
Yes,
Sultan's Kite.
for
It's the best
real.
Mediterranean food in Lincoln. Well, I don't know. I haven't tried all the Mediterranean food in Lincoln, but in my opinion, it's pretty much the greatest.
Yeah, I loved it, and it
Man,
just came in handy because they were already ready for takeout because they have a drive-through.
boom.
It was so good, and it was I took my husband, so it was he took me really, but it was the first time he's ever had it, and he loved it. He thought it was so good.
You've gone for a year and a half living here, and you just now took your husband to Sultan's Kite. This is it's all right though. It's all right. Everybody needs to try it at least once, and so I'm glad he had that one time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, um I also I did some cooking this week. So yesterday I said I was making bread. I finished making the bread. Tastes very good. I overcooked it just a little bit, so now the
No.
crust is just a little bit crunchier than I'd like it to be, but still a great bread if I've ever made one. And made some ratatouille, which was fun.
Ratatouille. I saw that on your timeline.
Yeah.
What is in ratatouille?
Well, a ratatouille, as I understand it, now see, there's the Ratatouille movie about the rat and
Yes.
the cook and whatever. And he makes a very fancy version of ratatouille, which is like thinly sliced vegetables layered and then sauces dripped over it. No, no, no. Ratatouille is just when you like chop up some vegetables, throw it in a pot, cook it, and then you add some tomato sauce to it. Is how I understand it, at least. If you got a better ratatouille recipe, anybody out there, please let me know. But I made mine and it was bomb. And yeah, it's it was so good. I still have
So,
some.
in your opinion, I don't know, I don't have an answer to this, but there's jambalaya and then there's ratatouille. Is it the same thing, just a different word?
I have never had jambalaya, but so I don't know.
Neither have I, but if you know, let us know.
Yeah, please do. Um, Man, we've only got one person watching today, but hello, one person. Welcome to Today in Quarantine. And
Mm,
I'm sure there'll be people like my parents who will watch this later on. So hello, parents.
yeah, it's true.
Um,
Hey, I just got a text from a friend of mine asking for prayer. Like, it just came down on my screen. I don't know if we can take a minute just to pray for that person
yeah, sure.
right now. Oh, hey, God, there's a person in need, and that person is requesting immediate prayer. Lord, they need your angels from on high to intervene. We need your Holy Spirit, Jesus, to save and to deliver. God, you know the problems and what they need and what they're longing for and what they're hoping for and what they need to overcome. And Lord, you have said that when we are weak, we are really strong in you. So may your strength be made evident in their lives right now. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah. Um, well, it's also the other thing that I was talking about is that I was cooking, and the other thing that I cooked today was I made homemade gnocchi, which is like potato pasta. It was a lot of
Ooh.
fun.
So
Yeah.
how do you say that?
I said
Gnocchi?
gnocchi. It's probably just gnocchi or gnocchi or something like that.
It's like when
Um,
I try to say kombucha, people say it different from me. I'm like, I
kombucha.
don't know. But you know what I'm talking about. So stop correcting me all the time. So I'm not going to correct you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm just butchering the Italian language is all. So not an issue. Not an issue at all. Today in our dad jokes section, I am going to read you all a book. And it's not really a book. You see, there's an artist on Instagram and Facebook, and he has a book out as well. His name is Nathan Pyle, and he is the author of the Stranger Planet series. So if you've ever seen those weird looking aliens doing human things and speaking a weird kind of English, you'll know what I'm talking about. Um, and he recently came out with a slideshow of a little bit of a bedtime story that also turns into a dad joke. So enjoy, sit back, relax, and enjoy while I share my screen with you in this book called The Wizard and the Unfillable Hole. Gual, can you see my screen?
Yes, I see it.
Great. All right. And you can follow him at Nathan W. Pyle, Strange Planet. Please follow him. It'll just make your day a little bit brighter every day. All right, here we go. The Wizard and the Unfillable Hole by Nathan W. Pyle. There once was a panicked mayor who called his town to meet. An unfillable hole had opened up in the middle of Main Street. I've brought you here so you can see, the worried mayor lamented. We've tried but failed to fill this hole. We've paved, bricked, and cemented. The townsfolk murmured, gasped. How could this even be true? They've worked so hard for months to fill this hole. Is there nothing we can do? The hubbub went on for a minute, but then suddenly a lull, for in the crowd someone dressed as a wizard, wise and tall. And when I say dressed as a wizard, it's true, I really mean that. He had the whole darn outfit, the robe, the staff, the hat. This stranger walked up to the hole, squatted down to take a peek, then took off their hat and set it down, and then straightened up to speak. I'm from the grassland of Icone, in the village we call Traff. They nodded, they'd not heard of it, and let out a nervous laugh. And then, without another word, the stranger jumped inside. The mayor gasped, the children shouted, a few people even cried. The mayor yelled, "We need a rope!" But as he did, a flash! It felt like 20 fireballs, and it sounded like a crash. A great big poof of smoke appeared. It was a bright orange hue. It stained their clothes and left on all a neon residue. Is anyone hurt? Someone called. The stunned crowd opened their eyes. The orange smoke cleared and all were fine, but then they realized. The hole the stranger jumped in had completely disappeared. They all sat there in silence till a kid said, "That was weird." They searched the ground for clues, but there was nothing they could find. The only clue that was still there was the hat now left behind. In the days that followed, they decided to leave the hat there on the ground. In tribute, drivers on the road would simply drive around. They named it after the stranger's village. The deed would always be known. And that, my friends, is the tale of how we got the traffic cone. There it is. Nathan W. Pyle, Stranger Planet, everybody. I hope
Thank
you
you.
enjoyed
Thank
that.
you.
I hope you enjoyed that because I certainly did. Um,
Wow, I never knew where this cone came from, but now I know it was the
now you
wizard that was
know.
sucked up into the ground.
That's true. It's true. And well, I was not there, so I cannot verify or deny those claims. But there's my dad joke for the day. I hope you all enjoyed it because I truly did. Saying dad jokes, I mean, I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, that was so corny," but it truly brings me a lot of pleasure to bring you these on a daily basis. So, thanks for listening.
Thank you for sharing. And you know, my husband and I, we really look forward to, well, I wonder what today's dad joke's going to be. So you keep them coming. No worries.
I no worries. I will never run dry. Never. I have not ever, and I do not anticipate that I will. So there you have it.
I want to show you today what my daughter's been working on for her art class.
Ooh.
Hand drawn is this. Oh, and this is like
Parchment paper.
parchment paper.
I want it to be like one of those where sun reflects into it,
Okay.
but we don't have any paper.
Sound needs to reflect into this, I guess. Sure. Hand drawn, ladies and gentlemen, for sale for $10 for your wall. Hard times during these depression.
I'm down to buy it. So let me know.
Wow. So I saw that you made bread on your IG account.
Yes, I did. I did.
How was it? How many?
Great.
Was it like a three ingredient bread, or was it like a 12 grain
It was
ingredient?
more like let's see, water, flour, salt, sugar, yeast, oil. 6 ingredients. Is that it?
How many hours of resting did it need?
About 2 hours total.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Like make, rest, punch, rest, and then cook. Okay.
Yeah. It was a good time.
Was a good time.
I haven't made bread for about a year, so it was like, oh yeah, it's getting back into this. And
you know, listening to you and Jovan's last Today in Quarantine, I realized you guys really lived like country living lives.
We did. We lived in a pretty big expanse of land in Connecticut. We were homeschooled, so we were home all the time.
This is nothing. You're so used to this.
Yeah. This is
minus the
fine.
land and animals.
Yeah. We had like wetlands all around our yard. Where Jovan literally, like he said in the video, he was there all the time.
Wow.
And yeah, we were just outside a lot with friends. We had like bikes and we were just riding around, and there was just always something to do. So yeah, I guess I've never really thought of myself as like a country person, but I guess I probably am.
So are you planning to grow a garden?
I am. Well, depending on, I usually work at a summer camp, and so I've always wanted to grow a garden, but I'm never here for the summer. So kind of depending on what goes on this summer, if COVID kind of ruins the summer plans too, I might go ahead and start a garden, but I might start it now and then just kind of see what happens if I'm gone. Maybe I'll transplant them to Illinois. That'd be a fun time.
Yeah, I really want to do I do want to do a garden, one outside my home, but I also want to be a part of like a community garden. They have something here called like Southern Heights Community Garden, and it's really dope looking. So I just want to be able to go and meet other people and, you know, share their secrets of how to like not kill every plant I touch.
Is that the one that's off of like Pioneers and like 46th?
Yes and no. There's another one I'm thinking about, but yeah, that one's also a community garden.
Gotcha. Yeah, that one's cool. I pass by it once in a while. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's a great
I
idea.
love it. We used to grow. We were never like country people. I mean, we lived in like suburb, but I used to grow my own little garden in front of my house every summer, and I loved it. I felt like such a wannabe pioneer woman because it was like a 4x4,
Yeah.
foot, not acreage. But I felt really good. I loved it when my kids would go outside and then they would pick like the freshest cherry tomatoes or the freshest peppers. It was just such a good feeling to be able to create.
Yeah. My mom and mom and my dad, we tried planting gardens, and it just never quite came together. I think though our neighbor gave us a tomato plant once, and we planted it, and then for like 4 years it just kept coming back, and we were like, yeah, the one thing has survived.
Oh
And then
man.
the other thing was that somehow I'm not even sure who planted it, but we planted a thyme bush, and so
Oh.
now we can like my dad was telling me last night. He's like, "Yeah, I just go out and pick some thyme," and so we always make jokes about it. He was saying that he went out late one night to pick some thyme, and then when he got back, it was morning because now we had more time.
Very good. Very good. Way to just weave that in there so naturally and organically. That
I
was
got
great.
you. It was pretty organic thyme, I'll tell you that.
That's funny. I had friends, actually, we're still friends now, who ended up purchasing this house out in the country. And it was like heaven because the people that they had bought this house from had cultivated the land so that there was like two different kinds of grapevines encircling the gate of their pool. They had raspberry bushes galore. They had peaches and apple trees, and they didn't have to do anything. They just walked right onto their land, and then boom, summer came, and they just had hundreds of pounds of raspberries, and the kids would eat them all day long because they were like early ripe. What is it? Yeah, like grapefruit that not grapefruit, grapefruit raspberries that would grow early in the season, then later in the season, and then the grapes. You just felt like you were in heaven. I loved going to visit her, not just for the food. I mean, definitely for the food, but I also love going to her house, and so do my kids. But that is like a dream come true, like being able to purchase a house that has all the work already done to it, not just interiorly, but like outwardly. Like you have your lake, you have your running river, you have your grapes, and you don't have to wait 2-3 years before things start to produce because they've already been in production for 10 years.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I wish I could just kind of inherit that. Yeah, that would be a dream come true. And then I would just have to like prune stuff and maybe break leaves or something. But yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Well, it's time for our weather report. So whether you're hot or cold here in Lincoln, it's about 65-ish degrees. Is that about right from where you're sitting?
Well, I'm definitely sitting on my porch. I could say when the sun is out, it really does feel like it's 65 degrees. Now that the sun is kind of hidden by the clouds, because the clouds were also surprised that the sun was out today. Kind of feels more like 60, high 50s, low 60s. There's a cool breeze.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It is a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day to be alive. Yeah. So, any last words for our listeners today?
Continue to stay home, but while you're staying home, come up with really cool recipes and record yourself making them because I always need help.
That is fair. I will have to record. I still haven't recorded. I was supposed to make you like a stir fry recipe.
Yes.
I'll have to maybe tomorrow in quarantine we'll do a cooking day.
That'd be great.
That'd be a lot of fun. It'd take a long time, but they'll
you prepare everything. You pre-prepare.
Yeah.
That's what preparation is. You just prepare.
That's funny. Yeah, I'll have to prepare that. All right. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us. If you are watching live, thank you. If you're not watching live and you're watching this later on, maybe it's today, March 30th. Maybe it's tomorrow, the 31st, or maybe it's a year from now, whatever day it is, stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands. We don't need this to happen again. And stay inside. If it's not quarantine anymore, please go outside, enjoy, but wash your hands. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow in quarantine for another episode of Today in Quarantine. Have a good
Bye,
day,
guys.
everybody.